3, 2, 1.
My name is Nick. I'm a full-time trader and entrepreneur. We put out tons of stuff for free for traders. These are real trades. This is real money. I'm putting my money on the line. This is going to be a live trading video here, locking in over $1,000 on this trade. Wow, I'd love to get in on this. Technical insights that really look good to me. There we go. We're live. All right, guys, welcome back to another live stream. Thank you for being here. We are a little bit late. Got to adjust the shirt and pretend I didn't just show up late to work today. That's my bad, you guys. For those of you who are waiting at 9 a.m., that is totally my fault. I ended up staying up really late last night. Thought I would be awoken by my alarm, and sure enough, missed it. So just like everyone loses trades, everyone sometimes messes up on their sleep schedule. So I apologize for that. We are still here though. It doesn't matter. It's better late than never, they say. So welcome back to another live stream. Appreciate you being here. And I think it's actually a good time to start today a little bit late, because in tune with what's going on, we have some very interesting events going on. We've got the S&P 500 dropping off really hard this morning. And we're about to start the New York session. In fact, in 1.5 minutes here, you guys, we've got the Wall Street market, the bell dinging. So that usually causes some volatility in the stock market as day traders and active traders jump into everything. So we're going to try and cover what's going on here and see if there's any setups that are interesting. Now, that is a serious sell-off. The first time we've actually seen one like this in several months. So you can see even the move that we saw back here. What ended up happening is you had this really aggressive dip followed by incredibly strong buying. The question is, are we going to see the same strong buyers step back into this market as we dip here today? One comparison I'd like to do, however, is that this is more of a sell-off now than we saw back here. Take a look right here. We can take a look at the RSI. It reached 10.5. Remember that number for a second. Let's go look at the RSI that we just saw recently. Recently, as the low hits, we saw just about 10.5 right now. So the question is, if it goes any lower, we're going to have a steeper sell-off in terms of RSI than we did before. What about percentage? I'm just curious what the percentage here on the previous sell-off looks like. So we went from right there at 42.45 down to a low of about a minus 5% loss, let's say, from the top to the bottom. Let's take a look at the current one. We'll take the top here right there at 45.50, down here at 4.3%. So this dip here is not quite bigger than the last one, but I would say this: if you're watching the S&P 500 or you're watching any of the stock markets that are falling today, watch for a break underneath significant support, because that could be the trigger for us to see much lower pushes. I'm talking about a 10% retracement, which is actually fairly common in markets, although it seems kind of crazy when it's happening. 10% dips occur fairly frequently. But today, as we look at the S&P 500, you can see that, look at that, as the open starts, the sellers came in hot and strong already. Look at this. We'll take a look at the 1-minute chart just so you can see. There's the 1-minute open in the New York session coming in strong so far. Let's see if the sellers will push this thing back down to the lows. It looks like the sellers are starting off strong today in the first minute of the stock market open. You might say, well, I trade currencies, but the S&P 500 is just as important if you trade currencies. It will tell you the sentiment of the market. What I can tell you from this is that the yen is probably getting strong today. The Swiss franc probably getting strong today. The dollar probably getting strong today. The AUD, the CAD, and the NZD probably very weak today. Let's go check to see if that is correct. What I'll do is I'll head over to our website, a1trading.com, going right here at the Forex currency heat map, and you can see we'll refresh the page, and bam. Aussie, CAD, NZD, very weak today off the reaction from the U.S. stock market selling off. That causes currencies to move as well. The pound down, Aussie down, CAD down, NZD down. Swiss franc, yen, and the dollar strong today. Very interesting to see it happen, you guys, and this is why the S&P 500 is important to watch. Look at that, you guys, bounce backing on the 1-minute chart. We'll take a look at the 1 hour So there's your 1 hour view. We are coming down into support on the higher time frames. Question is now, will the buyers be here today or are they going to fail out? The big thing I would say, watch out for is that break of this major support there at 43.60. If you're watching this thing and you're saying, hey, that could be a breakout retest, things like the pound dollar are going to go down. Things like the Aussie dollar are likely going to go down. The dollar yen will probably go down. You probably have the the dollar CAD would probably go up. Let's look at dollar CAD. I know we're starting a little bit off the radar today. We're starting with U.S. indices and going into different currencies. Let me fix my camera as well. But looking here at the dollar CAD, we're seeing this thing really get strong. In fact, we broke out of that level that we discussed last week here at on Thursday and Friday about this range or this sort of wedge formation that we had. We had resistance here, we had support here, and then look at this. We saw the breakout and there really was no pullback whatsoever. And sometimes this happens. I mean, if sometimes you want this trade, right, and you just don't get it because by the time you look at it again, it's already flowing up to the heavens. So if you're watching the dollar CAD with me here, the dollar CAD looks like it basically does not want to stop. It looks like, you know, you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles in a row that were like green, right? So you had strong green candles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the 4 hour chart. So that shows an immense amount of strength here to the dollar CAD to the long side right now. Of course, you do have past resistance up here at the top. Price is trying to get up and tag that, but we will see should price get up there, can the sellers hold dollar CAD's highs there? But to me, it does look like dollar CAD wants to break out. The dollar seems very strong now. We'll take a look at the DXY really quick. And then we're going to look at some other things. We'll look at things like gold. We'll look at things like the pound. We'll go see what's going on in all these markets in response to this today. Some of you guys might have noticed last week that the dollar just absolutely broke out. And we're seeing some follow through here to start the week. You know, you've got this big pull there and then not even much of a pullback. So kind of an impressive move there by the dollar. I'm not going to lie, as a dollar bear, you know, I haven't been in any trades. I got stopped out of the ones that I was in, thankfully, because again, you know, had I held on to dollar shorts, that would have been rough. Made some money on the dollar short side here, and then took a stop loss there recently. All good, it happens. But now just looking for an opportunity. Like, is this dollar going to continue higher? Well, let's discuss for a second why this is going, why this is happening in the markets right now. Why is the dollar so strong, right? Well, right now there's a big news event, or not news event, discussion around the Fed's willingness to start the tapering process. If you don't know what that means, let me explain that very quickly. As you guys know, there's such thing as inflation. Central banks print money to stimulate their own economies, etc. So if you print money at a faster rate, what does that do to your currency? It puts it down quicker, right? Because if you have more of those dollars out there, if you have more pounds out there, or euros out there, or yen out there, the more that you create, the less that each one has in value. That's a pretty straightforward concept. If you start doing this, tapering is basically the verb version of not printing as much. And if you print less, what it does, especially if you print less than other countries, if you print comparatively less, your currency actually gains value. So the Fed is all over now this concept of tapering. They're talking about it. They're pushing towards this idea of positive, you know, or positively moving towards printing less. And they did make a statement that was very bearish, which was, you know, hey, we're not looking to raise rates anytime soon. But the fact that they are still, you know, making the move towards tapering is still a very big move for the dollar. It's been expected, but there's been rumors around, you know, when exactly it would be. And now we're seeing a little bit more of an aggressive stance. That reaction is causing the stock market to come down. It's causing the dollar to get very strong. right? Because again, if you print less of the currency and you look to, things are looking strong enough in the economy to actually start tapering, that is dollar bullish. It's dollar positive. So we're watching the dollar here today. Big thing to watch out for the dollar this week, of course, has to be that previous high at 93.6. We've discussed this level several times. If we scroll out, you can see there it is on the higher time frames. It's pretty much the high of the year. So we put in that high at 93.6 on the dollar. Price has made its stance here pretty clear. It's made some bullish opinion or bullish moves, and its willingness to go up seems to be pretty apparent. You can notice also that last week we had this little double top resistance point, right? Lots of sellers in that area. Towards Friday, we saw price break out of that level, retest that level, and continue higher. That all looks bullish. Price action here for the dollar looks very bullish at this time. Fundamentally, I'm not a big fan of the dollar personally, so I won't be going long or rushing to go long up here by any means. If there is some further news that is dollar positive, perhaps I will look at looking for long setups, but I would probably need a pullback, right? So if I was to get dollar long, pullback play like this looks reasonable. Let's assume for a second that this was the high of the move here. You might be able to get some fibs out, take the fib from the swing low to the swing high. And look at that, you guys. That looks pretty clean for a possible break and retest opportunity, 38.2%. If the dollar really, really is strong, you would probably expect that level to hold, right? As buyers would take that as a buying opportunity. So for me, looking at the dollar, like I said, I like the idea of possibly going long. If I'd have to, like I said, I have to look at the numbers and look at what's been going on further to decide if I really want to jump on the dollar bullish camp. But I have no open positions on the dollar at this time. So I am really sitting on the sidelines. I do like the idea of being a dollar bear just based on the most recent stuff. But again, each week I basically try and go through and evaluate whether or not I really think that a currency that I'm focused on, if the monetary policy is hawkish, if numbers are looking good for that central bank, if they seem to be outpacing other central banks, then I may look to go long. So I will have to go look and do more research on the dollar. That's my truthful answer. I'm not interested in shorting. It is quite overextended to the upside, and that means I wouldn't buy it either. But the dollar seems to be very strong. You can see all the price action cues that it's giving us. Just sells have been getting smoked on this, and I was one of them for a little bit. I ended up taking a euro dollar long, which in fact, let's go talk about that. So I took a euro dollar long here at the 61.8. I discussed this on my Sunday video, as well as I have a video where I filmed this trade. It was a losing trade that's coming out on YouTube, but you'll see it when it comes out if you watch the channel. By the way, if you're new to the channel, I've got a bunch of stuff coming. It's going to be a great month or the rest of September, and we've got a whole bunch of stuff planned for October, November. It's almost fall here in the US, which is really exciting. I love fall. And I've also got a ton of content planned for you guys. So if you're new to my channel, do me a big favor and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, stick around. I know I'm going a million miles an hour today. It is just quite a busy day. So I'm trying to get plenty of coverage in for you guys. But if you'd like more of it, again, it's completely free to do. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. I know YouTubers always ask you to do it, but it's because it helps us out and it helps to get this video and get my channel put out there more for newer traders who are sick of all the BS, no Lambos, mansions, all that nonsense. Like, we are here to actually talk about markets and to learn about markets. So if you're here and you're down for that message, like I said, I'm not here to flex on you. Hit that subscribe button. Let's get it. So I went long on euro dollar, and it was going really, really swimmingly. It was going very well. Price hit my 61.8 level. I liked that a lot for a bullish buy. I went in. Price went in my favor. Unfortunately, I didn't get to move my stop to break even. That's my usual move, but it just barely did not get to the point where I was happy to do that. So I ended up holding on to the trade. And then when the market basically came down really hard, so did the euro against the dollar, as the dollar got very strong. So as I looked at it, I was like, okay, that is probably a stop loss. And I ended up taking a stop shortly after. So fortunately, I just jumped out of there because you can see the euro is down more today. So I'm glad to have just gotten the stop and taken the stop there. But let's look at the euro. Where are we headed? Well, that break of the 61.8 to me looks pretty scary. I mentioned yesterday that I think we are probably going to make an advance towards, especially if the dollar remains in favor, remains strong, we could see a move back down to 1.1675, which was just roughly the previous low there on the Euro USD. Also, technical analysis, we'll do some trend lines here. You can see basically that this trend line here, putting in those lower highs pretty consistently. In fact, very consistently, seeing each time this market has been bid into, we were seeing some sell-off. The reason I went long, though, is that I did like the fact that on the higher time frames, there was some really strong support, impulsive move, corrective move. And initially, it did work out to the long side. But again, sometimes the market just has something else in store for you. We had the stock market come down really hard, which dragged my position down into stop loss area. So as I look at it with the break of that 61.8, as that level broke, I basically said, okay, you know what? Probably worth jumping out because I think we could head back down to 1.675. Will I be right about that? We'll have to see. But I think that the path of least resistance here for the euro is a move down lower to that previous low to retest support. Markets do this quite often when they sort of change directions big time. They will drift towards a major area where they know there's a lot of buyers or a lot of sellers. And we know that there's a lot of people who are watching the euro down there in the lows to try and maybe buy it. But if sellers can get broken through there, maybe some fresh selling comes into the euro. A couple things to think about in terms of a resistance point. Of course, you've got this area that we just found mega resistance, right? That was just a great sell point for the sellers. In terms of other levels, you do, of course, have some here, right? So if price were to back test today, retest this area, you may be able to, if you're a short bias trader, there may be some shorter term setups. There's the 38.2 just in that resistance point. So maybe some things to think about if you're a seller on the Euro USD. But again, path of least resistance to me seems like a move down to 1.1675. We'll see. Like I said, I am still dollar negative. I'm not really a super bull on the dollar. However, when I look at this, I'm still willing to admit that, hey, you know what? The technical analysis looks bearish for now. It does look like we are making a move down to here. What about a dollar bearish thesis that I might have? When would I actually look to buy or sell the dollar if I am short biased? Well, I'll give you one example. If we were to see a really strong rally for the euro, breaking through some resistance, then maybe I could look to get dollar short again. But I'm not really willing to sell the dollar when it's really, really strong. When it's headline strong, I don't like to be usually selling into that. Just because, again, those news events can push the price up for a week. So that's why I'm saying you got to be careful with just going against the trend. As we know, many times retail traders. Let me say this. Also, Euro USD. Do you think that the retail trader right now is buying or selling the Euro USD? Comment what you think in the chat box if you're here with me live. Do you think the Euro USD retail trader, the average person on the street who is trading the Euro USD, do you think that they are buying today? Do you think that they are selling today? Let me know. I'm curious to see what you guys, for the stream regulars, you'll probably know the answer. Buying, buying, buying. Maurice says buying. Hassan says buying. Jared, Benji, VP, probably selling. Retailers buying. They are buying, sell. Some people saying sell. Some people buy. Okay, so the answer is buying. The answer is absolutely buying. And you might say, well, Nick, how do you know? You don't know. Well, I probably wouldn't know if it wasn't for the statistics out there that show us that they are actually buying. Check this out. We'll go over to the website, a1trading.com, free site, best site in the whole world. So go for it. You guys can use this anytime you want, though. So a1trading.com. Join our newsletter, by the way, if you're not already in there. We send out trade ideas and things like that from this handsome fellow, Frank, good friend of mine, another analyst here at A1 Trading. So let's go over here. We're going to take a look at the retail sentiment. This will tell us what the average retail trader is doing. And the first thing you see here today is that the euro is being bought. 82% of retail traders buying this market. 17% of retail traders are selling this market. So what that tells me is that the retail traders, their reaction to this dip is, oh, buy it, buy it, buy it. And it has been since it started really selling off. So can it go higher? Sure, it could. It doesn't mean that it can't go higher. It just means that we know that the retail traders are stacked on the long side. So it might be a little risky to go against all the big, go against the flow of this market, which is to the downside. So again, very important to keep in mind that when you look at, the Euro USD and you see that 80% of retail traders are buying this dip, right? They're buying and, praying that it goes back up. That is super dangerous to try and jump in on unless you have a very calculated reason for doing so. It doesn't mean you can't take a buy trade and make money. It just means that you have to be very cautious because that's what the average person is doing. I'm more of a trend is your friend kind of guy. Me too, a VP fella for sure. Let's keep moving on. We'll take a look at the pound dollar here today. By the way, you guys, thank you very much for being here. We just hit 250,000 subscribers on my channel. And you guys, it means the world to me. I have a passion for creating videos. Obviously, I've got like 800 videos. My dad's always like, Nick, you have 800 videos on your channel. You're crazy for doing that. Like, not in a bad way, like in a supportive way. He's like, that's awesome. And I'm like, I don't even think about it. I just really love creating content, chatting with subscribers and working with you guys. So if you're new to my channel, like I said, you're going to get free stuff just by subscribing to it. So if you hit that subscribe button, YouTube will send you all sorts of great free content around trading. So if you're not already subscribed, help us out. One day, maybe we'll even get to 1 million subscribers. That would just be crazy. So, with that said, next up is the pound dollar. The pound dollar got pounded. Like it just got wrecked. This thing fell out of favor. We just saw the dollar get so strong. And look at that. Trend line broke out and just really did not see the light of day again. It just fell. Oh, do you guys have another account on Instagram named A1 Customer Care? No, that is not us. Our only Instagram is at, by the way, if you guys follow this, we do giveaways and stuff like that on the Instagram. So if you're not already following it, at A1 Trading _ that is our only Instagram. Mine got disabled. Unfortunately, a scammer got my account disabled through spam reporting. I'm struggling to get my account back. Instagram has not been much help at all. They have not, even responded to me, which is really frustrating. So I don't know if I'm going to get my account back. And I've been reaching out to a lot of creators that have also had this happen to them. So there's people going around and scamming big accounts and basically saying, hey, you can either give me $1,000 or I'll get your account taken down through a spam bot reporting system that basically people have built or something. It's like, because Instagram allows you to report pages, right? There are people who are abusing that function on Instagram and getting accounts massively taken down very easily by massively spam reporting them. And Instagram by default disables the account just for safety. Like, the Instagram side of it, they're like, oh, well, if it gets spammed like 50 or 100 times in like a matter of minutes, it's clearly being told to be taken down because it's, got to be an impersonator or something like that. But it's destroying a lot of creators' content like mine. Like I had 50,000 followers on Instagram. My account has been disabled for a month now, and I don't know if I'm going to get it back. So at least for now, follow us on Instagram at A1 Trading _. That is our only page. And again, we do giveaways and we cover the markets on there. So if you use Instagram, hit us up. So looking at the pound, this is not a market that I would be buying. And again, this, guys, is probably even more so being bought by retail traders. Let's go check that theory. Yep. Look at this, you guys. We are sitting at 88% of retail traders going long on the pound dollar, 11% shorting the pound dollar. This is an excellent experience for the sellers right now. People who sold the pound, up in these ranges, looking really, really good, and holding on to nice winners today. I'm sure if you're trailing stops or holding on to winners, this is the sort of trade I would love to be in. Unfortunately, I'm not, but I'm also not willing to go buy this thing because I know sometimes you get these runaway trends that just keep going and going. So I'm not really willing to jump into a long position either. So what do we do with it? Well, for me, it's just sort of a passing moment. I'm just not going to touch that. Now, GJ is another market that I want to be long on. There's just not a lot out there for me today. A lot, you guys. Let's go look and see if there's anything on the trend scanner that could be helpful to us. Yeah, so let's look at the 4-hour chart. Let's see. So because I'm not finding like the dollar pairs, I've been trading them like crazy recently. There's just not been a lot. So let's go look at the trend scanner and see if there's anything trending that may be of interest. Okay, so I've got the trend scanner here. I am looking at the RSI 7 period, the upper and lower limits 70 and 30. I'm looking for 20, 50, and 100 moving averages. That's these ones right here. Is that right? Yep, 100, 50, 20. So what this is going to do is it's going to look for a 3 moving average to line up. And it's going to look for an oversold in an uptrend and overbought in a downtrend. Okay, that's the scanner. If you are not familiar with this tool, it is available on our website, the A1 Trend Scanner. You can just look it up on the internet, or you can go to a1trading.com. I'll show you where to get this in just a second. So here it is. Let's see if there's anything of interest today. Euro pound saying possible sells. Possible sells might actually be reasonable. Might be reasonable at euro pound. I do think that wouldn't be one to rush into either, because until you see some sort of rejection, you probably have a lot of retail traders who are shorting that as well. But that's one to keep on the options list. Euro Swiss franc. This one looks pretty healthy. This is a pretty healthy uptrend. We're getting into some different ones today, of course, you guys, because again, because of where the dollar is at, which is usually what I trade the most, the dollar itself is really strong today when I'm sort of bearish. So I'm not really willing to go short strength until we see signs. But look at this. Euro Swiss franc looks really good. The Swiss franc against the euro. So the euro pulled back here recently, printing an oversold status, giving us this bullish signal and a bullish uptrend. I like euro Swiss franc. I might watch that one today. Euro Swiss franc, going to add that to the watch list for sure. Euro Swiss franc. Next up, we'll take a look at pound Swiss. Pound Swiss, also interesting here on the 4-hour chart. Fell off a cliff. Really, really strong sell pressure there. This may be a market to look at. You've got this upward trending market. Can it find a higher low bounce? That's going to be the question there. We are just tagging the 100 MA here on the 4-hour chart. So, yeah, NZD-CHF, not too choppy for me right here. I would like to be a buyer of this, but I'd like, truthfully, a push lower. And also, so we do have this market trending up. That is, got the signals of a trend trading market, but I would like a little bit more of a dip. Okay, last one here on the list is CAD-CHF. CAD-CHF, selling off hard. Not too much of an interest one for me here. I like to see that it's, sort of trending. I guess maybe in the future, we could even add a 4th moving average for like long-term trend. Or we could at least add, the idea of like it's above all 3 moving averages or one of them, something like that. That could be an improvement for the software later. But yeah, lots of movement. I think Euro Swiss, the signal that's being produced here by the A1 trend scanner, I actually like Euro Swiss franc a lot. I wish I had seen that about 20 minutes earlier, of course, but hindsight is 2020. I should have turned on the alerts. You can actually set alerts. So if I go to A1 Trend Scanner, I can turn this on. So email alerts and alerts. So you can set them on. I should have turned it on, but I like to keep it off for the stream just because I don't want, alerts coming in while we're streaming. So I don't know. Euro Swiss franc, I'll be watching that one. The trend scanner popped that one up today on the list, and I really like that. So if you are watching the Euro Swiss franc, watch this. I mean, it does have a nice pattern of higher lows, so I'm going to watch for something there. Euro Swiss franc, pop that up on the watch list for sure. All right, back to trading view here for a second. Let's go take a look at Euro Swiss franc. So the euro against the franc looking very interesting. You do have price pulling back. And look at that, you guys. It tagged the 61.8 like perfectly and just just tagged it and turned around. So I am going to watch that one. If we dip back down to 61.8, I might try and pick it up. I'll keep an eye on that. If you guys, and you already know, if I take any trades, I'll share them inside of the Discord. And by the way, for those of you guys who are asking or interested in the A1 trend scanner, let me just pull this up. So all you do is you go to the front page of our website, and then you just click trading software. We got a whole bunch of stuff here, and just go to the A1 trend scanner. So there it is. You can watch the video on it. There's the tool itself. You know, it explains how it works, things like that. But yeah, so check it out if you want. If you want to access the tool, we spent a lot of time developing it and trying to make it the best we could. So hit it up if you want access to it, especially if you use MetaTrader 4. So with that said, guys, that's going to wrap up the stream for me. We do have another stream starting in just a few moments. So let me go ahead and drop a link for you guys to keep coming with me. So we've got another stream starting. I'm going to pull it up just so we can get you guys in on it. So here we go. Dropping the link there. Link is in the chat. Click that link. Click that link when you get a second. That's going to take you to our second channel, A1 Trading. We have another gentleman coming on in just a few minutes. He's going to be doing a live stream. So let me go ahead and end my stream, you guys. Join me over there. Everyone go click that link and continue to watch me. You'll get another perspective from another experienced trader out of Dubai. Really cool guy. Ryan is coming on in just a minute. So let me hop off here. Thank you guys for joining me today. If you enjoyed, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And again, follow me over to the second channel. And let's get it.
I know you were expecting Nick, but my name's Julie and I do the real work around here. I wanted to take a second to thank you guys for watching the show and tell you more about some free content that we offer. One of the things that we offer is a free email newsletter. So if you click the link down below, you can sign up for free market analysis, trading tips, and exclusive offers. Every once in a while, someone here at A1 Trading takes a crazy trade and you'll be the first one to know about it. See you guys next time.